Well, good evening everybody. Welcome back to VP4TV, and we're here again for another match. It's a one-loss side match in the VP4 2023 8-ball bar table world championships. We've got Bedhead tonight against Larry. Now the question is Larry going to get mashed between two Swedes? Because Albinario was the culprit for sending Larry to the one-loss side, and well, for Larry to do well in this, he has to keep the cue ball on the table when he's breaking, because he had like 3 if not 4 scratches in the break, and you can't be doing it and giving free goes to a player like Bedhead. Bedhead, I think Steve said the other day that Bedhead has won an 8-ball world championship, so Bedhead knows what he's doing. So it's going to be tough for Larry. Although, having said that, there has been no sign of Larry in the lobby, so he's not even up to getting some practice in. I think he's just going to try and wing it. We'll see if that works for him. But it would have been good to see him in, maybe getting a little bit of practice in the break, see whether he's going to change his break or stick with the same thing. I always thought he would be breaking central and just coming back to the bulk, not the bulk, the kitchen. But he's been doing the side break and it hasn't really worked for him. So Bedhead is going to be favourite. Bedhead, I think, yeah, he's in away mode. I had a message from, I hope you can hear me loud and clear by the way. I had a message from Steve while I was away getting my dinner, and he more than likely won't be here, so I haven't got Discord booted up. He's having some downtime with his lady because he's going away to the mountains, and she might forget what he looks like the amount of time he's away there. He's away for 2 or 3 weeks, so he probably won't be here tonight. Larry, having said that, has just arrived, and he's just gone straight into away mode. We're just waiting on the room going up. We've got a few minutes yet. Now if we look at the schedule, that's the only one that is on. This one between Bedhead and Larry, or Larry and Bedhead as it shows on the screen. If we look at the top half on this one loss side, we've got Stubb waiting on the winner of this match, so that'll be fun in games. And then on the bottom half, we've got Simanx waiting to play Semi-Pro. So Semi-Pro is going to be a very, very strong favourite in that match. It'll be asking a lot for Simanx to hold it together and take much off Semi-Pro. So Semi-Pro's certainly got the easier route along the bottom here. And of course on the winner's side, or at least he should have the easier route. You never know what can happen in this game. On the winner's side, we've got One Pocket Slim in the hot seat match, and he's waiting on the outcome of the Albinario Cobra match, and they've got until August the 1st, I believe, to get that match set up, so it won't be far away. And then it'll be Slim looking to progress, but he's going to have to do it. It doesn't matter who he plays; it's going to be tough. But the bar table's proved that you know, there's no dead set favourite, or at least there shouldn't be at this stage in the tournament, because you know, anything can happen in this table, and cue balls find pockets very easily on it. So that's what we've got to look forward to. Not many matches left, and it's who wants it most. But of course Simanx is the way outsider left in the tournament. It's all top experienced players in VP4. It's going to be one of them that's going to win it. So that's where we've got to. We are about a minute away. We'll just get it onto the tournament tab. I'm just waiting on this room going up. So welcome to anybody that's watching, Slim as well, in case I missed you. So we'll just see how things go. So I never looked at the finish of the Open because I was away getting my dinner at the time, but no doubt that American guy has won it by like 3 or 4 shots. Terrible weather in the final day. I mean, the last 2 days haven't been great. Cricket was a washout, so Australia retained the Ashes. The match ended in a draw. It was odds on it was going to be a draw. Right, so room should be going up right now. We'll have the lag for the break, and really important that Larry gets a good start if he's going to overcome Bedhead. We'll see if his luck changes. Surely it can't be as bad as what it was with the breaks the other day. So we've got Bedhead on the right and Larry on the left. And Larry is just going to win it. So he's got first shout here with the break, and he's going to stick with the side break. And it's come up dry straight away. Well, you get two stripes up the top right there. You've got this 11 ball down the bottom here. He's going to play the combo to choose the solids, which is probably a wise move. The only thing that Bedhead has to be sure of is that he can still get good on that 6 ball, and that 6 ball is fairly well guarded. There is the gap in the middle of the table to get to the 6 ball. And he has to obviously watch where this 11 ball's going as well. It's gone in, so it's still shown as an open table, of course, which is a bit weird, because I don't understand that about this year, because Bedhead's called the solid ball, and you would think that would be his ball because he potted the first ball, but the table's still open. That just seems a bit weird. So he's now committed in the second shot, but when you call the first one and you call that combo, I would have thought that would have been your set of balls. But then again, what do I know about 8 ball? So, like I said, this 6 ball has to be gotten on pretty good, and he's I can't believe he's going to be dropping down. He's going to be coming back and trying to get into that gap, so he doesn't want to go anywhere near this 15 ball. Well, he's come down. Now, I'm not quite so certain that this is a great move. He's got to hope and try and, is he going to try and put a bit of right spin on? He doesn't seem to have much. I thought he's maybe try and bump that 9 ball. He's got to get out far enough. And he hasn't. He hasn't. I told you. I said that earlier. You've got to get really good into that gap. And I'm surprised he left it that way to get onto the 6 ball. I would have been happier in the middle of the table to get on that 6. That was a good shot in terms of spinning it around to pot the 6, but of course now Larry's the favourite, unless Bedhead can come up with a bank. I mean, what's he looking at? I mean, it will cut up the table. Well, he's got to watch the cue ball here as well, and he's got to hit this with pace to get it up the table, get it moving. Well, it was nowhere near it. I'm sure he called the top corner pocket there, unless I missed something. So Larry now is in full control, and he has those 2 stripes that he has to deal with, but he doesn't have to deal with them now. He can just put Bedhead in trouble. In fact, he can open it up and just duck behind here, because the 8 ball's not going past that 12. Well, it wasn't exactly the best shot by Larry either. Oops, wrong button. And he's going to try the bank, and the big fail there by Larry was not getting actual cover on that 8 ball. He's given Bedhead a shot here. And now there's still a problem for Larry, because you have to get good on that 14 ball to be able to take it out. And Larry's got to be careful. Good evening to Coldest Pillow. Let's have a quick look around here because Larry's got to be able to get something onto this 14 ball to be able to deal with it, and he's not in a great position to do that at the moment. I mean, he can take the 15 up the table and either put it in or over the pocket and try and just roll through, but he'll have one last chance to get on it by taking the pink 12 ball if he ends up going up there. I don't see any harm in going for the 15 and finishing up over here, but Larry sees it a different way. He's trying to get out now onto it, and he's bumped to 15, and now he's in trouble. This could all go pear-shaped very quickly, and he's got to play a delicate little shot here if he's going to try and use the skim off the 15 and try and hook Bedhead behind those two stripes. Well, he looks as if he's going for the cut. And is he on it this time? Yes, he's on it this time. So now he says confidently he should be home and dry, but he's a bit straight to be drawing that back. He's going to bump in to that 13 ball if he does that, and he's got to just hope it bumps the right way here. Well, now he's fine because he can now take the pink and then take that, and he'll be home. Well, I think Bedhead should have tried and dealt with that 6 ball sooner. Good evening to Bill. Because ultimately that was his downfall. He didn't get on it. So the important thing with that is Larry won it on his break, but Bedhead will be kicking himself. Well, there's a ball got in. You've got the 9 and the 2 ball are tied up, so that's a stripe and a solid are married up together, so there's a problem that has to be dealt with regardless of what you choose here. The one ball's tight to be got at, and he may well be taking it now. I think taking the solids, and the good thing about taking the solids is he's got a bailout ball over the corner pocket here, this 3 ball in the bottom right, but he's also got a number of balls up this end of the table where he can try, I don't know whether he's got an angle where he can draw off this 5 and try and run into the 9 and 2 right now. He might be trying that, because as I say, he's got bailout options, and he's trying for a little brush. Now, that is perfect. So he's got no excuse now, except for the fact that he's got to make a big decision on how he's going to get to the 8 ball. Now, the obvious one to get to the 8 ball is the 7. So he may well end up tidying up what's up here, taking the 3 ball, staying in the table, taking the 7, and then rolling the 8 up into this bottom corner pocket. Well, I think that was maybe the plan, and that's maybe going to have to change, because I think he might have tried to play for the 7 there. I don't know. Well, he's now taking the 7, so he's now going to be just working a wee bit further away, but there shouldn't again be any reason why he can't get onto this 8 ball from where the 6 is and where the 4 is. He's just going to have to cut the 4 in. He might go forward to the rail and come back in. I don't see any trouble here. Just a little dink and hold the cue ball. So good reply from Bedhead. A break and run. Ties it up all square. Good afternoon to Run Out Rob. Good evening. Well, Larry was breaking, it looked like second to last ball on that break there. And he's got a ball. And he may well be playing this combo here straight away with the 4 and the 7. That's two solids together. The other issue is up table where the 6 ball is if he takes the solids. Now, if he's, I mean, looking at it from one point of view, if he takes the stripes, that 15 ball down the rail on the left hand side would allow him to get to where the 12 and the 11 are. But it's a tight space to work in, and yeah, I mean those 2 balls, the only way you can really get to them is off that 15, and then you'd have to play a delicate control shot to be taken either out, one after the other. And Larry's on the stripes, and I think the main reason he didn't take the solids is because of where the 6 ball was. So now he's on. You see, he's got himself in trouble straight away because he's too close to the rail, but he's got to try and dink this in and come back up for this 11. And he's overhit it. He's overhit it. He's still got to take this, I think, because I don't think he'll ever get on it again. It doesn't go past the 7. And he's just got to hope he can get out. Now this is his bailout. That's what he's hoping to get on. He's going to have to hit this a bit, unless he can avoid them. Well, that's nice. He's avoided the collision. And now the worry is, how do you get onto the 8 ball? And how do you get to that 9 ball? Well, I think he's got to go top left English here and check this a fair bit, this 14 ball, if he's going to try and come across to see the 9, and that could go wrong. That could go very wrong. Well, I think he's maybe trying to go on the 9 now, and he's run into the 1 ball, and that's the problem. And now he's in trouble. He can't. I mean, he's got to try and bump the 3 here and leave the dinky thin cut in the 9 from up this end of the table. He can't try and get on the 9. He's got to bump the 3, and that was the right way to do it. Now he's got to get this a feather edge cut on this 9, and then just got to ride his luck that he's going to be able to see the 8 ball and have a decent shot on it in a pocket, and that's not easy. This has got to be really thin. He's probably going to hit the 6. Now, how's his luck? Well, if it keeps going, he'll take that. He will take that. That's where you just have to get lucky. Well, it wasn't conventional in getting out, but he got there, which was the most important thing. So a break and run for Larry. Gives him a 2-1 lead. Break goes back to Bedhead. Now I'm sure something went in there. Yeah, a ball has gone. Of course, now the 8 ball's down over this bottom right hand corner pocket, and the pink stripe is guarding the 8 ball and obviously blocked. So I don't think Bedhead will be that keen on taking the stripes. Now what's over that corner pocket there? Is that the 9? Well, he looks as if he's going to take the stripes and he's going to try and get onto this 12 straight away. Oh, Oh, he's just blocked. He's just blocked. There's not enough of that 12 showing. So immediately now, Bedhead has to find a way to get down onto this 11 ball to try and bump the 12. I mean, what Bedhead could do is he could actually try and play. You have to obviously use a bit of imagination here, but if he got down in the 11 and he managed to play the 11 onto the 8 and pot the 11 off the 8 ball, that would bump the 8 ball out the way. But that'd be one option, to actually try and free that corner pocket for that pink 12 to go in. And it might be worth thinking about it, because if he doesn't think about it, then the only other thing is he's got to try and pot the 11 in with the 6 ball in the bottom left. And this is his last ball up table. Is that the... that's the 1 ball. So now I've not got a clue. Oh no, he's got the 9 ball over the corner up there. But I've not got a clue what he was trying to do there. Well, why didn't he try and come down on this 11 ball sooner? You know, the sooner you get down on the 11 ball, the more of a chance you have of actually trying to do something to get that 12 in a better shape. And you know, it was a bit ambitious what I was talking about, but it was one option. Now he's got to come out of here clean. Right, well, he's actually perfect for the shot I'm talking about. I think he's got to try and, if this is me, I've got to try and use that 8 ball. And if he's going to hit it clean, you know, if you hit it off the 8 ball, you bump the 8 ball out of the way. But I don't know what this is. Well, he's going to try and play it off the 4. He's got to hit this hard for that to go in off the 4. So it's got to hit the 4 and like stun into the side pocket. This will be some shot. Well, again, I don't know why he didn't try my idea, but if this works, fair enough. Oh, well, it does work. That was superb. Where's the cue ball? Well, there you go. That's what happens when you have to amp it up. And I still stand by my idea. I think that was a better idea, because you certainly weren't going to scratch. And Bedhead didn't see it my way, and in the end I was proved right. But this is a bonus for Larry, which he simply cannot mess this up. There's no way you can mess this up. You've got balls all over pockets here, and all you're having to do is just pot them. You don't even have to move the cue ball anywhere. Now, again, see, if this was me, I'd be getting down onto this 6 and 7 pretty quickly, just so that you're not dealing with both ends of the table. You get rid of them now, you've absolutely no problem getting to the 8 ball. Yeah. Take the 7, take the 2, take the 8. Welcome to Biggs. Well, I don't know whether you guys agreed with me, but when I was talking about getting on that 11 ball, he couldn't have ended up on that 11 ball any better than where he finished. And the shot was on to play that 11 off the 8 ball and bump the 8 ball out of the way. But we'll never know that. But what we do know is that it backfired on him. He did play the shot into the side pocket off the 4, but the cue ball was running loose. And Larry has got a little comfort zone at the moment, but straight away Larry's come up dry, but at least he's kept the cue ball on the table. But these balls are crying out to be picked your way through them. If you can do that, and this is where you're in tight spaces here, but all the balls are available one way or another, provided you get them in the right order. Well, we've got two stripes down the bottom left here. You've got the 12 and the 14, which are a combo. He's looking at cutting the 10 into the side and coming through the gap here, I think. Well, he's bumped to 15, and that 15. Because one's blocking the other. And this is awkward to get out of here as well. He's got to avoid collisions here. This is not the angle he wants. This could go pear-shaped very quickly if he was trying to take get on this 15. Now he's only got one decision to make. He's got to take that ball because he's blocked in the 15 and he doesn't have that as a second option now. So now it's imperative that he can take out these two balls up there, get good in the 15 and get clean to get on that 8 ball. Now, this is all hinging on what the angle is. Well, he's gone fairly straight now. He's got to draw back. He can't. He could pinch the pocket here and go forward, but he's going to run into trouble. So he's got to come back and get the pace right, and that's perfect. That was well done. Nice little stunny draw there, and it's another run out for Bedhead. Just to stay in touch. And of course that has well, cue ball's gone as well. Every other ball's gone. 8 balls gone. That was against Larry's break. Now Larry has an absolute gift here to get up and running. Now scratch from the break. He's got to play up table, I'm pretty certain, isn't he? He's stuck in the kitchen. But he's just having a look to see how accessible either of those two balls are, and you can certainly pop both of them, the 14 or the 7. What, the mic's gone? Can you hear me now, guys? Hang on. Let me know if you can hear me now. So you can hear me? Maybe my foot was on the cable. I've just moved my cable up out the way. Well, Larry, with ball in hand, again, my main concern is getting rid of that 7 ball and dealing with the 6. You don't want to be working at both ends of the table if you can help it. What you really want to try and do is deal with a situation down this end and get rid of it all, because the nitty gritty comes when you're trying to get good on that final 8 ball. Now that 8 ball, it does go past the 5 into that corner. Obviously it goes into the other corner. But at the moment Larry's working with these 2 sets of balls either end of the table. So you take the 6, take the 7, and this has got to be played right. If he's going to play the 1 ball first here, he's got to get the right angle on this 1 ball on the right hand side here. Oh dear. Well, I think Larry's mind was on the 1 ball, and he's made a complete hash of that. I don't believe that that's what he tried to do, and Bedhead has been given a chance here where he can cut that 12 and probably bump into this 7 and 14, and that's a big fail from Larry there. Huge fail. Don't forget, ball in hand, and he's blown it, and that is a big mistake. How big a fail is that going to be there? Because that was that is a table that he should have been out every day of the week, and he knows it. And his main concern was what I said. You know, if you're going to play the 1 ball after he had potted that 7, then you have to get a good angle on the 1 to be able to get to the 5. And he seemed obviously having 2 minds, one of them on that 1 ball, and forgot the other part of it and potting the 7. Well, this just looks like a stun onto the rail here and back off to the left without scratching in the left side pocket for this 8 ball. And that's perfect. Oh, and Larry could pay a heavy price from that mistake. He's in a 3-1 lead, and he's gifted Bedhead the chance, and now the match is all square. I'll have a quick drink. Oh dear, it's going from bad to worse. The old scratch in the brakes kicked up its ugly head again, and well, you stick with the same brake. It couldn't have happened any worse. He's given a rack away there that was in his pocket, and now he's broke and he's scratched. And Bedhead, well, here's Bedhead going to maybe give Larry a lesson on how to deal with tables and finding the way out from ball in hand. Might not be quite as simple to do it now though. This is a right mess, but obviously there's a simple combo there for Bedhead. I mean, there's nothing has to be moved there. He would like to maybe take that pink 12 first and then play the combo, because if you play the combo, you're not going to pot the combo with the 12 ball sitting there. And he's got plenty of room just to come back. Now, you've got that 14 ball here, which is obviously going down the rail. That allows you to get out onto the 13, but once again, you have to get an angle either way in the 14 to get out onto the 13. There's room past the 8, and you can certainly cheat the pocket to get the 13 in. Well, it's clearly now going to be the 13, then the 14. And the 14's fine for getting out into the open space on that 8 ball. Now that's not the 15 that's up there, is it? Oh, no, my eyes are totally gone. Well, the only way this will go wrong is if he ends up behind the 5 ball. Oh, the commentator's eye nearly called it. But an object lesson to Larry in what you should be doing with ball in hand. You've got to be dealing with problems and getting out, and Bedhead's done it, and that could be a fatal mistake from Larry, because Bedhead's now got his break again. You know, Larry's mucked up the table he had at his mercy. He's mucked up the break in the next rack. The break's gone back to Bedhead. Bedhead's ran out, and suddenly Bedhead's in the lead. And not only that, he's had what, 2 or 3 balls in the break. It's going to be solids every day of the week here, because they're all wide open. He's got a nice little combo with the 14 and the 12. If you can see it, that is. Now he's still got, what ball's that? Is that the 15 up there? Yeah, so he's got the 15 to get out, or is it the 15 or the 9? So the little combo. Now he has to hit this pretty full on, this combo. He doesn't want the 14 to leak away along this short rail. I think he's got to hit this full in the face to keep the 14 there. A bit like that. You know, that had to be played right, that combo. And now it's all about the touch. Just coming up the left side. Even if he goes up as high as the 8 ball, he's still fine. Now he's gone up a wee bit higher. Now he's just got to watch the cue ball. He might be putting a bit of right on this, or left, sorry, not right. And he is. And that's good. And Bedhead's looking strong when he's given these opportunities. He's got the technique and the touch to find his way out, and from a 3-1 lead, Larry's, well, he has been the architect in his own downfall. He's played a big part in it, but fair play to Bedhead. He's done the business, which is the whole big difference between the two. Good evening to Tam. So Larry's lost 4 in a row here. Self-inflicted damage has played a part, but Bedhead has done what you have to do given these opportunities. Yeah, it is severe punishment at this stage in the tournament. And Larry's came up dry again on the break. And it's just going from bad to worse. He's kept the cue ball on the table, but nothing else has gone down, and Bedhead's in again here with an immediate problem, having committed to the solids. He's got to deal with that 6 ball. And the cue ball's leaked away, it just caught the point. And now Bedhead is in trouble, because he can't do anything with the 6 ball, and he can't see the 3, and he can't see the 5. Now he could call the 6 and try and bump it in off the 5, you know, or at least maybe call a safety, bump it to the rail, bump the 5 and try and get it over the hole. He could try that. But he's going to be, at the moment he's not favourite to win the rack from this position. Well, he's called safety, but he might be trying my shot, and that was a clever shot. Again, commentator's eye. You know, he's got rid of the 6 ball, which was important because that was going to be the major issue in finding his way out, and he's now got, having called the safety, he's got Larry in a whole heap of trouble here, and it couldn't have finished any better for Bedhead. Larry is in a world of hurt here. What is it they say? Stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Well, I think this would summarise it. Looking at this situation, and suddenly Bedhead is the strong favourite now. Larry's got to get up table and try and get distance. Well, he hasn't got cover. Now, I don't know whether Bedhead fancies the thin cut in the 3 and trying to bump the 9, but that won't do him much good either, I don't think. At least he'll be able to see the 5, but he might not be able to do a lot with it. And this might be, I mean, it's thin. He's calling safety again. He's going the same direction. He's trying to duck in behind the 5 and 7 here. At least I think that's what he's trying to do. Well, now that's become a bit of a problem for Bedhead. Having played the safety, he's not got cover, and he's also got a ball isolated. You know, he's got his other 2 solids are up table, and he's got a ball isolated in no man's land down here. And suddenly it's went back to Larry as being favourite. And this is a simple must. Cannot fail on this visit, Larry, or you're just giving this match to Bedhead. Nine ball cleanly goes past the 7. It's not a problem. He's looking around to make sure he knows where he's going before he commits himself. And of course, Steve's favourite thing is you've got a ball extended from the side pocket. That 14 ball, he needs to get on it. Very sharpish, because it obviously will go into the right side pocket once he gets rid of the 15. And he probably is going to bump the 8 ball here off this 12. Doesn't want to bump this 8 ball too much. Well, he hasn't bumped it at all. So if he's taking this 11, he's got to get good on this 14. This is not ideal. And well, he's leaving the 14. And this is another tricky little touch shot. Now obviously the angle, he can just drop across here. And now he's come out into no man's land. Now he's in trouble. He's in trouble. Well, it doesn't matter what pocket you look at, Larry. It ain't easy either way. And he's got to come away off this 14 ball, avoid the scratch. Maybe bump the 3. If he does, it won't matter. It's all about the ball going into the hole. Well, that'll do. And a sigh of relief for Larry. But of course the break goes back to Bedhead. Larry back to within 1. It's only a race to 9, remember, on the 1 loss side, so it almost feels like racks are running out already here. Well, that's the first favourable thing that's happened for Larry here, because Bedhead's come up dry now. That 15 ball is tight past the 3 ball down into this corner pocket. He's going to take it into the side. I think it's got to be stripes. Let's have a look up table. You know, you've only got 1 stripe here. It's sorry, tell a lie, you've got 2. I forgot with the 9 ball. And if you're taking the stripes, you've got to get on that 9 ball ASAP, and that will do nicely. Well, I don't believe he wants to be going forward. I think he's got to stun the rail and try and get out of there. He's just going to the rail with a wee bit of left to make sure he misses a 6. And that'll do perfectly. So now the decision has to be made on how he gets rid of these last remaining balls. So you want to be getting rid of that 14 so you can forget about anything up the top of the table. If you take the 14 and come across here, you've at least got a shot in the 12. If you come out far enough, you might have a shot in the 10. You're trying to get into a position. So he doesn't need to play the 11-12 combo, he just needs to come out. Now if he'd come out further, he could have been taking that 11 ball there. Well, again, I think he's gone, he's got a little angle he can pinch here, I think. Yeah, he's fine. He's just got to watch the pace of this. If he's coming behind the 11 for it down into the... No, he's gone out the way. That's probably the safer move. Now you can go forward with maybe a wee touch of right. And there's just enough room to get that 8 ball clean. Got to watch that side pocket, that's fine. Well, it's a recovery from Larry, because now the shoe's in the other foot. He's stole the break, or stole the rack off Bedhead. But again, I think he's come up dry. He's came up dry. Well, this is not quite as... well, it never really is straightforward, most of the racks in this game, but whatever you commit to here, here's your problem. And it's Bedhead that's going to have to deal with it. And then of course, that 3 ball is now Larry's, so it's locked away. And Bedhead can cut the 15 and get the bump here. Try and improve this situation. Now he doesn't want to bump this too hard, because he could bump that 11 onto the 3 and bump the 8 in here. He just caught the 13. Well, that's still not improved the situation. But he's got... I don't think this is either a very great position either, because the 13's stopping him getting out there. really. Well, it's going to be interesting how this rack progresses, or how this visit progresses for Bedhead, because I can't see him wanting to do much with this 11 ball at the moment. It's dangerous where the 8 ball's sitting and bumping things. Well, he's going to have another go, and this looks reasonable enough. Oh, now, well, he can see the 14 and he can pot it into the side. And of course he'll go up table for the 11, but the 3 ball, there's plenty of room behind the 3 ball to get to the 8. And I think this will just be, now does he want to roll forward with a bit of right here, or does he want to just play it dead weight? And that's perfect. Well, Larry again, well, no real fault of his own, he just didn't get a ball in the break, and Bedhead ran out again to regain the lead. And again it's pinching Larry's break. Bedhead's had a ball. Now, I don't think this is a bad table the way these balls are sitting. The question is what do you commit to here? Right, well, if it's stripes, you've got 1 down here, you'll get the 1 into the side, you'll get the 11 in the middle of the table, and Bedhead's gone for the stripes, so straight away he can get the 9 and the 14 if he wants to deal with that pretty quickly, because I don't believe you want to leave the 14 sitting there as it's going to be the last ball to get on the 8. I think that'd be crazy, because you've obviously got these solids sort of been obstacles in the way. Well, if you take the 14, I didn't check the angle he's got in that 14. Well, he's got an angle. He can stun this 14 in and get the cue ball out behind the 3, so he can get somewhere in the middle of the table here, and then try and deal with this 13 and 15. I don't think he needs to draw and move stuff. Well, I'm not exactly sure what he was playing here. He can play the 13 and he can stun over for the 15 and pass the 1. And it looks as if it's going to be the 12 ball as the last ball to go on that 8 ball. And suddenly, in the blink of an eye, it's gone wrong big time. And the 15 ball ain't going anywhere. It ain't going anywhere. Well, this rack could be vital in terms of Larry hanging in this match here, and Bedhead's made a big mistake. Well, the table is tricky. It definitely is that. You know, the pace of the table and the running of these balls and the touch has got to be delicate. I keep saying that. You've got to be delicate on this table. It's a gentle touch you need, and Bedhead's just trying to leave it as awkward as he could. And he's left Larry a shot, but of course the pressure just moves from one player to the other. Larry's he's got the 7 ball, which he can play. There's not a problem playing that, but then I think he's got to run forward and just try and maybe run into the 4 and 2 here. He'd be really unlucky if he still wasn't on something. I mean, he could spin, but I think I don't think you can really avoid hitting something here, the angle that he's got, unless you just drew off this 7. Let's see what he does. Well, he's got a bailout. He's got the 1 ball as a bailout. He's going to have to deal with it, because I mean, if he'd hit it a wee bit harder, he's definitely got the 1 ball. He can see the 1 ball. I mean, I'm directly behind it, and you can cleanly get to that 1 ball and pot it. Larry's looking around and looking around. I don't know what he's looking around for. He has to get this 1 ball first, then he can start looking around. You can get a bus through there to that 1 ball every day of the week. Oh dear. Oh dear. Now he had to stun the cue ball to try and still get a shot in this 3, admittedly. But these are unforced errors that are happening at vital times now in this match. And that, of course, came from the mistake by Bedhead, giving Larry a chance, but Larry's not been able to capitalise on it. That's why this game is so tricky. I mean, 8 ball itself's tricky enough, but on this table, you've got a table that's you think is there for the taking, and suddenly just, you know, a roll of the ball, half a roll too much, and suddenly you're in dire straits. And what's more, it's all happening at the wrong time here for Larry, because Bedhead with a 6-5 lead is now odds-on favourite to be doubling that lead. Well, he's got to get into the cue ball here. And there you go. When you start digging down to play the little stun or the draw shot, you've got to get that line right, because, you know, these balls, and Steve said about the physics in this table, these balls are twisting and they're catching players out time after time. When you're trying to play certain controlled shots, they're squirting all over the place. And Larry's been let out of jail, and this is still a little bit tricky. It looks simple enough, but it's still a little bit dodgy. He's got to get good here. Now he's in no man's land. I mean, obviously you can take the 2 ball, but he's got to get on to that 6 ball as well. And I don't know whether he can go into the gap and come back out. See, he's made sure he wasn't running into the 6, and that's fine. So now it's just a roll in and a roll in and a 3. In fact, you just want to stun this in slightly. That way you know you're heading to the right of the 8 ball. He might just be rolling it plain ball, as long as he's happy he's missing the 8. Well, he's played the stun. He doesn't want to stun it too much. Well, another sigh of relief for Larry, because that was 7-5 all the way, and suddenly it's back to 6 all, and now it's Larry's break. Now he needs to come up with something of a break here. What ball's he hitting? 2nd ball down. Well, he's got a couple of balls, 2 or 3 have gone. Cue ball still on the table, 8 balls clean. Now he's got to play stripes. Immediately it's got to be stripes. You know, he plays a 10 onto the, is that the 13 that's up there? 10 onto the 13, or the 9 onto the 13. I think he's got to take the 10. And then, if he can, possibly deal with the 11 ball next, because that 11 ball is a worry. If this is me, well, I mean, you've got that pink 12, okay, you can deal with that. But if this is me, I've got to play that 10-13 combo and try and get onto this 11 back into this corner pocket. I can't believe in that 11 ball there, because it's not handy to get onto that 11, and the chances were that if he'd played the 10-13 combo there, he could have been out for the 11 into this corner pocket. I'm telling you that this is going to be a problem that he must get onto very quickly. The 10 ball wasn't an issue, but you know, he's got nothing else down here that he's going to be able to get to that 10 ball comfortably either. And you know, suddenly situations can change very quickly in this game. Well, Super Admin's arrived in the room, and he said he wasn't going to be here, so I'm assuming he's not in Discord, because I'm not. And, well, I'm certain the 11 doesn't get into the side, and it clearly doesn't. And now he's under a bit of pressure, because he's got to pot it up the table as we look. And I think if I'm Larry, I'm trying to get a bump on that 7 and maybe play the 10 combo. Yeah. And well, he doesn't need to worry about that now, because the 7's well out of the way. He can just see the. Again, this is not. It's not cut and dried, because you must get some sort of shot on this 10 ball that can allow you to get out onto the 8. And again, Larry's overhitting him slightly. You know, that just needed a wee bit more delicate touch, and now he's got to avoid the blockers, and he's got to avoid the side pocket. That's the other problem. And this is scary, because you don't want to try and get into the gap, and if you dare to go further over this way, you're dangerous scratching. This is threatening to go very funny, very rapidly here. And he's got the bump in the 2, and that will do. Well, he's worked hard at that one. But from being a possible 7-5 down, he's now 7-6 in front. Bedhead back with the break. And Bedhead has got the 7 ball. And 7 ball is obviously a solid. Now there's a solid locked away here. That 2 ball, the 15 ball's an issue, but you can get rid of that with the 9. The 1 ball's an issue if you take the stripes, because it's blocking the pocket there. This is a messy table. Good luck to whatever one you choose. And I'm thinking that Larry might be quite happy that Bedhead's at the table here. Because, you know, he's the one that's got to commit to either a safety or a pot, and he's the one that's now got the problems to deal with. So he's chosen the solids, and he's probably going to have to play a combo straight away here with this 5 and 3. And that 5 could end up rolling along the rail there towards the 10 ball. Oh, good evening to Semi-Pro. Oh, he's played it really delicate. Well, Larry's now at the table. He can immediately deal with the 14 ball because that's blocked with the two solids. He could deal with the 14 and come back for the 10, and if he had an angle on the 10, he could try and spin across and bump the 9 and the 15. That could be a possibility. I know I haven't a clue what Larry was doing there. Maybe Larry had something like that in mind, but again, he's totally forgotten about the 14 ball. Well, there's strange things happening with some of Larry's shots I've noticed there. At the end of the day, I'm not sure. I'm thinking he was concentrating and leaving an angle on the 10 ball there. He missed the 14 ball by that margin, and immediately Bedhead has done his best to try and deal with the problem, and he's dealt with it as far as he's concerned, because all his balls are available now, and it's just about running out. Another strange shot from Larry there. It was if it was a case of trying to hold for that 10 ball with an angle on it, then it was a bad miss. And again, it's just happening at the critical time. I mean, he's one in front here with a chance to consolidate it and get himself to the hill, and now that's pretty much out the window. Although, as we've seen earlier, not necessarily. Well, it's a cut in the 2, and he's coming back the way off this 2, and this 8 ball is limited in terms of where it's going. But it does have a pocket in the side there, which will do very nicely. Well, another big error from Larry has cost him dear, and we're 7 apiece now. And the break goes back to Larry, so it's pressure all the way now, especially now that we're limited racks. We're tied 7-all. You've got to get, and that rack just did not do anything there. They all might as well go back into a triangle. That was horrible. That's probably one of the worst breaks we've seen. Look at the mess of the table up there. Absolutely horrible, that. Well, good luck to you this time, Bedhead. Well, he's got a big, that might be is that an 11-10 combo there in the stripes, right in the middle of the bunch. He could give that a good smack for a laugh. I mean, if he takes the 3 ball, he's got the 4 ball and the 5 ball. Well, he's took the 3. Oh, he might be right in the jaw. He might be right in the jaw. No, he isn't. He's lucky. He is lucky. Well, he can certainly do a bit of bumping here, which is unavoidable. And already this could go funny, depending on how he collides with these. Oh no. Well, he's got the right idea. He saw sense there. Played to safety. Buried Larry. So Bedhead has committed to the solids. Larry's on the stripes. Well, I think the best thing that could have happened there is that he didn't hit anything at all, because it's still leaving Bedhead with work to do. Because the worst thing that could have happened there is if Larry had hit a ball and it had, well, obviously, if it hit his ball first, it would have been fine if a ball had got into a rail, but he could have done damage there and opened stuff up there for Bedhead. So that's probably the best outcome. Now, was it not said the other day, there's not a 3-foul rule in this this type of 8-ball, is there? I don't. There isn't 3 fouls, is there? Somebody'll correct me there or whatever. Because the same thing applies here. Larry's trying to hit one of his balls, but what he doesn't want to do is open things up. Yeah, so it's just ball in hand. Well, that's probably a good thing. Well, Larry has brought the 5 into play, and I'll tell you something though, that couldn't have finished a lot better than that. I mean, Bedhead can see the 6 ball, it's the only one he can see. And he's just trying to duck up the table again here, I think. Well, this is going to be a bit of cat and mouse for things to be resolved. Now, what about just bumping the 9 ball onto the 8 ball and holding the cue ball there? I mean, Bedhead will be on the 1 ball, unless he wants to be aggressive and play some sort of combo in that 1-7. I don't think Larry's leaving a lot on. I think, and in fact, looking at Larry's options, I don't think he's got many options, and I think one of them would be just to stun the cue ball and kill it stone dead next to the 1. What's he doing? Oh, you're kidding me on. He's not trying to... Oh, well. Well, where the 14s finish is actually probably not too bad in terms of the 5 ball going up the table, but the 5 ball still goes into the side. Bedhead's got a thin cut in the 7 back into this corner. He's going to catch a big chunk of the 10 ball. At least it looks like it to me. 7 balls hanging over the pocket. Larry on the stripes with no shot other than possibly... No, he hasn't even got a bank because that's blocked. And the one thing I would say now is that Larry has to come up with something decent here, because Bedhead could be in for the kill. The biggest problem for Bedhead is that 2 ball and getting to it. You're not on Discord, are you, Steve? I assumed you weren't going to be there, so I didn't boot Discord up. If you're in there, I'll boot it up and come in. Alright, well, wait a wee minute. We'll see this shot and then I'll boot it up. Oh, did he call that? That was excellent. Hang on a minute, guys. Back in a second. Well, you pick your times to arrive, Steve. I just assumed you said you weren't going to be here, so I didn't bother booting it up.
Well, I wasn't sure I was going to be here. I managed to finish lunch with the wife a little early, and so I'm here.
Well, this match is on a knife edge, but Larry's played a little kick combo there.
Yeah, I saw that. That was the right shot. I mean, Bedhead kind of screwed this rack up, and I'm saying that because, he was in the driver's seat and the safeties were good in the sense, the idea of playing safe was good, but he wasn't productive. He just, when he knocked his balls out there, he's locking up against other balls.
Yeah.
What he needed to do was play safe like he did, but move his balls into better positions.
Well, Larry's, I don't know whether he's got the chance to do any with this 14 ball off this 15. It looks too straight to me.
Well, he could draw back into the 5 ball here. It's kind of like one of those ones where you would have to hit it real hard with kind of like a stun draw. I mean, I'm not sure what he's planning on doing, but he's got to get to that thing right quick because, and I'm not sure how he's going to do it. I mean, there's not.
This is his second last ball. He's got no chance of getting there.
No, he's got 4 balls on the table, but I just don't see how he's going to break the 14.
I forgot about the pink 12. I thought that was a 4.
Yeah, but the 12 doesn't do him really any good. I mean, he's trying to get on it to break it out, but see, this is just a terrible angle.
Well, he's going to play it off the 5. I think that's what he's doing.
Well, you know what? And that's very smart. That's a great play because the 14, he should play shape for the 11. The 14 should go over towards the pocket. He can't hit this real easy because he's got to get the 14 to separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit it too easy.
He hit it too, and he got it too thin. He had to get. I mean, at that pace, he had to hit it thicker with a connection to break the 14 out.
I'd shoot the 14 right now. I think he's going to try to break it out, but I might shoot it right now. I mean, obviously getting on 11 is tricky, but you're just not guaranteed to come up with a shot.
Steve, I don't quite get the fact that you said you finished lunch early, and now you're in the stream, you're bloody well eating again. I mean, how long does your lunch breaks go on?
I like to eat. There is a shot to draw this back into the 5 and kind of bump the 5 and keep the cue ball against the cushion, but that's a tough shot. I mean, that's one of those ones where, if you don't pull it off.
You could catch the point if you get right into the cue ball here, could you not? I think
you could.
I think he's got to dig in this
11. If you shoot the 14, you got to decide: am I hitting a 6 or not? Am I going to try to? If he goes back and forth, he can. All he has to do is be near the other long rail, and he's got a shot, just like this. That's perfect.
That'll do. I mean, he's got a shot in the 11, but
well, he's going to have to shoot the. He's going to have to shoot the 8 in the side pocket. So he's got to. He really needs to come across the table, and the angle is real tricky to do it.
He's got to miss this 8 ball because he doesn't want to run across and run into it.
No, he'd have to get lucky to get a shot if he runs into it. But the shot's there. It's just it's a pretty precision shot getting the line right off the rail. He's going for it. I don't see, and he bumped it.
Commentators cuss again.
Yeah, and
well,
this is a tough one to get in. Can it be done? Yeah, but this is hard to get the 8 ball to go. I'll tell you, he's got a shot here where he thins the left side of the 8. The cue ball hits the rail, bumps the 7 in, and the cue ball's right behind the 8.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Just thin the left side of the 8.
I think that's a shot because that way he's leaving absolutely nothing.
It's just a real tricky shot because you have to hit the 8 super thin because you don't really want it to hardly move at all because you got to get the cue ball in behind it. It's a tough shot. Yeah. So you didn't get the cue ball behind it. That's a tricky shot. You've got to hit the 8 super thin.
Well, it's probably Bedhead in the hill here.
Well, Larry hitting that 8 ball, he could have come up with a shot in the other corner pocket. He didn't. I don't think he was trying to hit it.
I'm taking the 4 to go in that 1. I want to get rid of that 1.
Bedhead's out here. I mean, this is just, yeah, this is easy.
It's elementary, my dear Watson. So I've forgotten the name, but I'm assuming the American guy won it unless he fell in a bunker or something in the last couple of holes. He was
Oh
like
yeah,
4 or 5
Brian
to 1.
Harmon. Yeah, no, he won it.
Is
You know, Brian.
that his debut major? I think.
Yeah, he's from Savannah.
Well, there you go. Well, it certainly was. I'll tell you something. It wasn't Savannah weather he was playing in today. It was
No,
cold. It was wet all day.
well, he's a good player, you know, and he's one of those guys. He's won quite a few times. He's one of those guys that isn't real long, but you know has good control and placement of the ball, and has a real good short game. And you know this was the type of course that kind of player could win because it wasn't a course that required a lot of power to play well on.
Well, bad news for Larry. Bedhead's in the hill, and Bedhead's breaking for the match.
Yeah, but it's not over yet. I mean, we'll see what happens here.
Well,
looks like it's gonna be dry.
Well, this is a big visit for Larry. Big decision to be made here straight away. What about that 14 and 15 the way they're sitting? I mean, it's a combo they
Yeah,
could possibly
no,
make.
that combo goes, and it's not that difficult with them that close together. I would take the stripes at this point.
Now, do you play the 12 up into that corner and over the 9? Where that's see the 12 sitting over.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest shot is to shoot the 12 into the 9. And then you use the 10 to get on the 15-14 combo because that's one of those combos that if you get on it reasonably well, it's pretty easy.
Well, I don't know what he's looking at here. I thought immediately he was looking to catch the edge of the 9. Is he playing the combo into the 2?
I think that's what he's going to do here. You know, this is a tricky situation just because he missed the ball. The solids look pretty good, except for the fact that the 2 balls blocked. But you know, at this point, if you take the solids, unless you can come up with a bank shot on the 2, you're probably going to be putting the 2 in front of the pocket and trying to play safe.
Now that Crow guy that came into the room there, I have not seen him around for a long, long time, and that's the first time I've seen him in for ages. I don't know where he's from, but I've seen the name, but a long while ago. Well, again.
And it's another miss. Boy, this is like
the big stun's catching him out.
So now it's decision time. What do I want to do?
Well, I don't know that you can see enough of the 2 to play the combo on that 9.
I'm not sure he can.
No. Looks like
I mean, the stripes aren't as good as they were where the 13 is. I mean, you could play the 13-10 combo right now if you want to take the stripes.
Well, I think that's. See, the only worry now is that you look at the 12 ball, Steve. The 12 balls, not the 12. That's the 4. What am I talking about? I thought that was the 12.
You can shoot the 3 and move the 2 ball right here. This is a perfect angle to get into the 2 ball. I'd probably take the solids at this point. I'd shoot the 3 and get into the 2 ball here. And I think that's what Larry's going to do.
Well, I think he's got to get into the 2 ball. If he doesn't, he's in problems here. Well, he's in problems either way.
Yeah, that wasn't where he needed it to go.
This is not looking good. I'll tell you what I'd be doing. I'd be looking at some way to get one of my balls over to that 14 and 15 as a bailout.
That was a good shot.
Well, he's bumped to 2 out.
I mean, it's still trouble though. I mean,
Well, he could.
If he can get back to the 5, unfortunately the 2 won't go by the 5 because he can shoot the 5 off the 1 and potentially get a shot on the 2. I mean, this is kind of dicey. I'm not sure how he's going to get to the 5 ball from where he's at.
Well, I'll tell you something, Nicker. What I done
Okay, he's got a great shot here.
is I turned
Push
off.
the 2 onto the 9 and put the cue ball, pin it on the back of the 5. Well, that was an aggressive play, and he didn't come out good. Oh man, that's brutal. That was a very aggressive play he made, and and it wasn't a bad play, but look how he came out.
I
I kind of
off
like
Mic
that
Boost.
better in my safety, except for coming out like this. This is terrible. He's going to try to shoot this. You got to hit this real easy because you got to get the draw to catch, and then he probably won't have a shot on the 6. I don't know what he's going to do here. I mean, that was tough.
Well, Bedhead's perfect.
Well, if you're Bedhead, you shoot this combo right now because it's sitting almost perfect on it. Well,
why don't you play the 12 and then just roll through for the combo? Open up
because you want to be. I think the ball to play the combo off of is shoot the 10 and then play the combo. So play the 12, then the 10, then the combo because you want to be almost kind of where the 10 ball is. You want to be maybe an inch behind where the 10 ball is with a cue ball, that kind of line, because you've got to hit this thing like super thin. That combo's really easy if you get in the right spot. If you're not in the right spot, then it gets tricky. Yeah, but that's not what he wants. You want to shoot that from about, see where the 10 ball is? Just shoot this 10, well, he's a funny, you want to be almost to that head string. You want to be like shooting a 15 ball straight into that second diamond because it's a super thin cut on the 14. Yeah, hopefully he comes out good on him because there's some risk here in the breakout. Oh, he came out really good on it. Well, yeah, he's fine. He can shoot the 14, roll through for the 15. Yeah, Bedhead's going to be out here. It looks like Larry played a pretty good match. Yeah, I mean, this is probably Larry's best game as far as world championships. I would think is 8-ball because he plays pretty smart. Yeah, and Bedhead plays good 8-ball. I mean, I think Bedhead was definitely the favorite in this match, but obviously Larry's played a pretty good match. So. And, yeah, that's all he needed was not being straight. Yeah, but I think Bedhead's got the advantage in that match. I think Bedhead's the favorite against Stubb. Well, you might be muted because I'm seeing chat that indicates that. Well,
Right.
Slim, I was letting Hugh talk.
Does that sound
I know
any
I don't do
different?
that often.
Does that sound any different to you guys?
Sounds the same to me, but I'm listening through Discord. Yeah, he says good now.
Yeah, because I put the boost back on.
Yeah, well, I didn't see the whole match, but looking at the stats, it does seem like that break and dry will kill you in this game against good players.
Yeah, and as I say, that I'm pretty certain that maybe two of those breaks that Bedhead got, two of those runs were off Larry's dry breaks, possibly. Certainly one of them, but possibly two, and that's what made the difference. But Bedhead had he'd a rack. Many times we've seen that Bedhead had a rack that was, all he had to do was run out, and he got himself in trouble. And it's strange how you get tables like this on this 8-ball bar table where they look good, but it is so easy just to run yourself out of a line very quickly on a table that's, you're thinking it's in the bag. And that's the thing that catches players out all the time on this table. That's what makes it more enjoyable watching it. There's
Yeah,
nothing.
well,
There's nothing that's guaranteed.
a lot of it is, some of it's experience, some of it's just, how good you are at moving the cue ball. There's two things you got to be able to do. The most important one is get the cue ball going on the line you want, and then there's certain shots you need speed. But the guys that can move the cue ball on the line they want have a huge advantage playing those tables where you have to maneuver around some balls.
Well, Stubbs going to go for the wham bam thank you ma'am approach. Bedhead's going to go for the more deliberate approach, and Bedhead will be the favourite.
I think Bedhead's a big favorite in that match because Stubb does manage to get out in a lot of racks. I mean, he just takes too many chances.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a time to blast and there's a time not. I've seen him shoot blast shots where they were fine.
I mean, he could end up blowing Bedhead away, though. That's what it is with this bar table. If he gets on a roll, I mean, he's going to be potting balls from everywhere.
Well, it's no guaranteed win for Bedhead, but he's definitely got the advantage because he plays more in control. If you're going to blast, the time to blast is very early in the rack. Try to move the balls very early. Once you get past the very early stage, you start doing that, later in the rack, and you're just stubbed too many times. He's down to trying to break out a ball, with the last ball,
yeah,
and
leaving it too late. Yep, yeah.
Well, he tries to run out a table with two or three problem areas, and it's just too much to do. I mean, he's gonna go for it all the time, and unless things really go his way, he's probably gonna lose the Bedhead.
Well, Tommy, you're a bit late in arrive. You missed a pretty good match there with Bedhead and Larry. Bedhead going through by the odd couple of racks, 9 racks to 7, who now plays Stubb. And Semi-Pro's got it easy because he's up against Simanx. It all looks in the bag for Semi-Pro in that match. Just depends what Simanx turns up. If he turns up with a bit more purpose about him, and pots balls rather than banging and hoping, then he might get a couple of racks off semi-pro, but maybe not many more than that. They're all going to meet at some point regardless of what happens, so semi-pro will be favourite for that. The deadline, did I look at the deadline for those matches? I forgot about that. I think I said earlier on, the match
It's the
between Albinario,
31st.
yeah, well, Albinario and Cobra, they've got, according to mine, it's August the 1st, because of the time zone differences.
Yeah, they're all the same. So all the other matches are the same thing, too, on the loser side.
Right, so this is what Stubb and Bedhead, they've got until August the 1st as well. So yeah, they're all the same date. So what are we at now? The 23rd. So there's still plenty of time, but again, it just depends on how active Stubb's going to be. He's going to be wanting a match in the middle of the night.
Sure.
Bedhead's time. Bedhead's an hour in front of me, so Bedhead's at the moment at this time of night it's 25 minutes to 10 Bedhead's time. So there's a chance that that's going to be sort of, maybe it could be late night. Just hopefully it's on my day off, or at least Slim can get it, whatever happens. So that's all that stands or remains in this tournament.
Well, Larry played a good tournament. He had to play both Swedes, and they both play really good 8-ball.
Yeah, he comes up against the tough guys, and that's what's happened again. Larry just looking for a break either way. He didn't get it, but
he played semi-pro, Albin, and Bedhead.
Yeah,
that's 3 pretty tough matches.
You want to meet one of them in the final. You don't want to be sent to the one lost side by Albie and then come up against Bedhead there. So Larry got it tough.
Well, Stubb, his matches. So he played Linus, and that was a closer match than it should have been. But then he played Cobra and lost Hill. So Stubb is still in this thing. He could definitely win against Bedhead.
Well, I'll curse Stubb straight away by saying he couldn't have a better chance of winning this tournament if he keeps his head screwed on.
I don't know. The thing about playing like that, it's the way he plays. He's going to win some matches that, it's going to work out for him. But just in the long run, I just don't see how he can get through this tournament against all the good players that are left playing the way he plays.
Tommy's just said Tommy had 2 matches, all the rest forfeited, so he ended up having to play semi-pro and then Albie. So Tommy didn't get it easy either. Oh dear,
yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah, the draw is a huge thing. I played in a lot of tournaments in real life where I got good draws, and then other tournaments it just seemed like every frickin' first round match I had, I went through a period where probably 7 or 8 tournaments I was playing somebody, Oscar Dominguez, Jose Perica, Lee Van Cortez, John Mora, Ernesto Dominguez.
Yeah, but you'd be getting weight in every one of those matches, surely.
No, there's no handicap in most of the tournaments I was playing in.
No, oh, well, you had it tough then.
Yeah, and it's just it was really tough for me because I'm a slow starter. I don't usually play a good first match, so it's like rarely was I going to win a first match like that against one of those guys.
Right,
but that's the way it is. Sometimes you just get bad draws.
So when are you away then, Steve? This is what, Sunday?
I'm leaving Saturday, and then I may be around for a couple days. I go in the mountains on August 2nd. That's when it's really bye-bye.
Right, so whereabouts are you heading? If you're down there in Savannah, you've got a fair bit of
I'm going to California. I'm going up in the Sierra Nevada in California.
So you're like, what, 2,500 miles to get there? Are you flying? Are you driving?
Yeah. No, I'm not driving. Are you kidding? That's at 2,500 miles. No, I'm flying out, and then I'm up in the mountains on August 2nd.
Right, so you won't have Wi-Fi up in the mountains.
No, there's no cell phone or nothing up
No,
there.
I was just thinking you could come into Discord and join in the commentary. And one
Yeah,
of the
no. Well, for the first time ever, I'm actually taking a satellite device, like an emergency beacon, because the wife's bugging me about it.
yeah, oh,
So
you up there and get bloody lost in those things.
I'm not going to get lost. I'm not worried about that. But there's other things that can happen to you.
Mountain lions, bears, or whatever the
No,
hell's
I'm not
tramping
really
around.
worried about mountain lions or bears. The most dangerous thing up there is granite.
Yeah, ankles. That's what's dangerous. Going over in your
Ankles.
ankle. Yeah.
Falling off the mountain. Granite's not very forgiving.
Yeah, yeah. Mind you, I could just imagine what a mountain lion would think when it saw somebody like you walking up towards it. It's never seen anything as tall as that. There's no
Mountain
tree.
lion.
There's no trees at that height.
Mountain lions are very shy. They're very shy.
Oh
They don't
yeah,
like people.
you do well to spot one of them, so you would.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Well, I hope you enjoy yourself, and I hope you get back in one piece and get some nice pictures that you can show us.
yeah, I'll show you pictures. I
Yeah,
always take pictures.
that's exactly what I was just thinking there, Larry. You just beat me to it. I was going to say there when I was saying that
Sasquatch.
a mountain lion's not seen anything as tall since the Sasquatch.
I don't think I'm wide enough. Sasquatch is big and tall. I'm only tall.
Oh dear, I remember watching the $6 Million Man and he had 2 or 3 episodes with the Sasquatch. That was hilarious. I wish they'd show that on the TV again. They don't show it over here again. The $6 Million Man.
6 minutes. I'm sure you can get it on some stream someplace.
Lee Majors. Right, well, Steve finally got here, so thanks for Steve's company. I'm off for a coffee. And
Yep.
I don't know when we'll be back, but sooner or later these guys will get organised. There's not many matches left, so I'm sure they'll be desperate to get underway. And,
I'm sure we'll get some this week. During the week, I'm sure some of these guys are going to want to play.
Well, if it's not in a time that I can get it, just hope that Slim's around and he can get it. So if you're arranging your match, arrange it for Tuesday night or Wednesday. That'll suit me. Right, it's good night, folks. And it's thanks to Steve. Take care.
You.
Enjoyed all your
Good night,
company, guys. And we'll see you again soon. So take care and see you later.